You wake up, look out your window, and suddenly realize something enormous has appeared above the city. A glittering structure so massive, it completely dominates the skyline. But who built it? And why? Thousands of people are streaming through its glass doors. Inside, music is playing, neon signs are flashing, and people are laughing, eating, watching movies, and spending millions of dollars every single day. Now, imagine that you own that entire place. Every time someone buys a fresh pair of sneakers, grabs an iced latte, or buys a ticket for the latest Hollywood blockbuster, a fraction of that money somehow finds its way into your bank account. It sounds like the ultimate financial dream, doesn't it? It feels like the pinnacle of capitalism, a cash-generating machine that works while you sleep. But here is the multi-million-dollar question. If owning a shopping mall is such an incredible, lucrative business, why isn't everyone doing it? Why are some malls thriving as cultural hubs of luxury, while others sit completely abandoned, turning into eerie, ghost town relics of the past? Is owning a mall truly a golden ticket to generational wealth, or is there a dark, hidden side to this industry that most everyday people never see? Today, we are pulling back the heavy velvet curtain on one of the largest, most complex, and highest stakes businesses on the planet. We are going deep inside the economics, the secrets, and the massive risks to answer a deceptively simple question. What does it really take to actually own a shopping mall? To truly understand this business, we first need to shatter a massive misconception. Most people walk into a mall and assume the owner makes money because customers are buying products. You see a crowded Nike store or a packed Apple store and think, wow, the mall owner is getting rich off these sales. Surprisingly, that is not how it works at all. The individual stores inside the mall keep the revenue from selling clothes, electronics, cosmetics, or fast food. The mall owner doesn't care if a store sells 1,000 jackets or just one, at least not in the way you might think. The mall owner's primary source of income is something far more predictable: rent. Think of a shopping mall as a giant, horizontal apartment building. But instead of families renting bedrooms, multinational brands are renting commercial square footage. Every single month, these businesses must pay a fixed base rent to the mall owner just to keep their doors open. However, the real genius of the mall business model lies in a concept called percentage rent. In many commercial leases, once a store hits a certain threshold of monthly sales, the mall owner takes a direct percentage of every dollar earned after that. This creates an incredibly powerful financial ecosystem. If a store does poorly, the owner still gets the base rent. But if a store explodes in popularity and goes viral, the mall owner gets a massive bonus. It is a business model designed to generate millions of dollars every year, but only if everything goes exactly according to plan. Generating that kind of wealth sounds amazing, but getting your foot in the door requires an almost unimaginable amount of money. Building or buying a shopping mall is one of the most expensive real estate ventures on earth. Even a modest, mid-sized regional mall in a suburban area can easily cost tens of millions of dollars to construct. If you want to talk about mega malls or luxury shopping centers in major global metropolises like New York, Dubai, or Tokyo, the price tag easily skyrockets past $1 billion. Long before a single brick is laid or a single girder is welded, developers must navigate a financial minefield. First, you have to acquire massive tracts of incredibly expensive land, often competing with other developers. Then, you have to hire world-class architects and engineering firms to design a space that can hold tens of thousands of people safely. Next comes the nightmare of bureaucracy, spending years obtaining government permits, environmental clearances, and zoning approvals. Once construction finally begins, you are funding a project of epic proportions. You are paying for miles of internal roads, massive multi-level parking structures, industrial-grade central air conditioning systems, complex electrical grids, advanced plumbing, and state-of-the-art security systems. Hundreds, sometimes thousands, of construction workers work around the clock for years. During this entire phase, which can last anywhere from 3 to 7 years, the investors are bleeding cash. They are paying out millions of dollars every month without earning a single cent in return. It requires investors with nerves of steel and incredibly deep pockets. Let's assume you survive the construction phase and your shiny new mall is finally ready to open its doors. Now, you face your next massive hurdle: filling the space. An empty mall is nothing more than a giant, air-conditioned concrete cave that drains your bank account. To make money, You need stores. And to get stores, you have to master a high-stakes psychological game involving what the real estate world calls anchor tenants. Anchor tenants are the massive, household name brands that you usually see at the very ends of a mall. Think of giant department stores, massive supermarkets, or flagship electronics retailers. These corporate giants are the lifeblood of the mall because they possess immense brand power. They are the primary reason customers leave their houses and drive to the mall in the first place. Once the customer is drawn inside by the anchor tenant, they naturally walk through the rest of the mall, discovering the smaller boutique shops, cafes, and kiosks along the way. Because anchor tenants hold all the power, mall owners have to treat them like royalty. In fact, mall owners often offer these giant brands massive discounts on rent, and in some extreme cases, they even let them occupy the space entirely for free just to get them to sign the lease. To a regular person, this sounds like an awful business move. Why give away your best space for free? But experienced mall owners know that without those anchors, the smaller stores will refuse to move in, and everyday shoppers simply won't show up. It is a delicate, strategic balancing act. Once the mall is fully leased and operational, your role shifts from a developer to something resembling the mayor of a miniature city. Running a modern shopping mall is an operational marvel that requires 24-hour management. Behind the glamorous, brightly lit storefronts and the pristine marble floors lies an invisible army of workers keeping the entire machine from collapsing. Think about the sheer scale of the operation. Every single day, the lights must stay on, escalators and elevators must operate flawlessly, and the massive HVAC climate control systems must keep thousands of sweating visitors perfectly comfortable, regardless of the weather outside. You have to manage advanced security teams that patrol the premises around the clock to prevent theft and ensure public safety. Cleaning crews must work tirelessly, sweeping up trash during the day and deep cleaning the entire facility in the dead of night before sunrise. If even one major system fails, the financial consequences are devastating. A single major power outage, a broken escalator, or a leaking roof can cause hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost revenue, trigger lawsuits from angry tenants, and permanently damage the mall's reputation. As the owner, you are legally and financially responsible for everything that happens under your roof. It is a high-stress environment where a single mistake can ruin your profit margins for the entire month. As if managing the physical building wasn't hard enough, mall owners today face an existential threat that didn't exist a few decades ago: the rise of e-commerce and online shopping. Today, consumers don't need to visit a physical store to buy a pair of jeans, a new smartphone, or groceries. They can do it all in their pajamas with a few taps on their mobile screens and have it delivered to their doorstep the very next day. This digital shift triggered what the media famously called the retail apocalypse, causing hundreds of traditional malls across the globe to go bankrupt and rot away. To survive, the modern mall owner has had to completely reinvent what a mall actually is. Malls can no longer just be places where people buy physical goods. They have to become experience destinations. This is why modern malls host live concerts, massive food festivals, high-end fashion shows, pop-up gaming conventions, and extravagant holiday celebrations. If you look closely at successful modern malls, you'll notice they are dedicating less space to clothing stores and far more space to entertainment. They are packing their properties with multi-screen luxury cinemas, indoor trampolines, bowling alleys, massive aquariums, virtual reality arcades, and even full-scale indoor amusement parks. The goal is simple yet urgent. Give the human race an immersive, tangible experience that they can never replicate through a computer or smartphone screen. Even if you build the most entertaining mall in the world, you are still entirely at the mercy of the global economy. Owning a mall is a highly cyclical business. When the economy is booming, unemployment is low, and consumer confidence is high, people flock to malls to spend their disposable income. Stores make record profits, rent is paid on time, and the mall owner thrives. But when the economy inevitable slows down, a dangerous domino effect begins. During a recession, inflation rises, and people tighten their belts. They cut back on luxury items, dining out, and entertainment. When retail stores experience a sharp drop in sales, they struggle to cover their high operational costs. Soon, individual stores go bankrupt and close their doors, leaving behind empty, dark storefronts. Every empty store represents a direct loss of rental income for the mall owner. But here's the catch. Even when half your stores are empty and your rental income plummets, your fixed costs do not change. As the mall owner, you still have to pay your massive bank loans, property taxes, insurance premiums, and the salaries of your staff. We saw the absolute worst-case scenario during the COVID-19 pandemic, when governments forced malls worldwide to completely shut down for months. With zero foot traffic and zero rental income, many mall owners faced financial ruin. For many wealthy investors, those years turned their dream asset into a living financial nightmare. To fight back against these economic risks, forward-thinking mall owners are turning to advanced technology. The modern shopping mall is quietly transforming into a tech-driven data center. When you drive into a cutting-edge mall today, smart parking systems read your license plate, guide you directly to an available parking space via LED lights, and help you find your car when you leave. Inside the mall, sophisticated artificial intelligence and camera networks anonymously analyze customer foot traffic. They track which pathways people walk down, which window displays they stare at the longest, and how much time they spend in specific sections. Mall owners sell this incredibly valuable data to retailers to help them optimize their sales strategies. Furthermore, digital advertising boards scattered throughout the mall change their displays in real time, showing different products depending on the demographics of the crowd walking past them at that specific hour. Mobile apps offer personalized discounts and help visitors navigate massive, multi-million square foot layouts without getting lost. Some futuristic malls have even deployed autonomous robots to clean the floors, monitor security, and provide interactive customer service. To survive in the modern era, a mall owner must realize that they are no longer just in the real estate business. They are in the technology and data business. Because the risks are so incredibly high, successful mall owners have learned to monetize absolutely every square inch of their property. Rent from traditional retail stores is just the baseline. The true masters of this business find hidden streams of revenue all around them. Think about paid parking fees, which can generate millions in pure profit every year in busy downtown areas. Look at the massive digital screens on the exterior of the building or the banners hanging from the ceilings. Brands pay exorbitant fees just to advertise on them for a single week. Look at the small kiosks in the middle of the hallways selling phone cases, perfume, or sunglasses. Because those kiosks are located in high-traffic walking zones, their rent per square foot is often significantly higher than that of the actual stores. Mall owners also lease out their rooftops to telecommunications companies for cell towers, rent out empty parking lots for weekend drive-in events, and charge premium fees for hosting corporate product launches in their main atriums. In ultra-luxury malls, high-end fashion houses will pay millions of dollars in rent, not even because they expect to make a massive profit at that specific location, but simply for the immense global prestige of having their logo displayed on that specific street corner. In this game, space is money. Yet, despite all these brilliant monetization strategies and technological advancements, many of the world's wealthiest institutional investors avoid shopping malls entirely. Why? Because at the end of the day, the ultimate success or failure of a multi-billion-dollar mall hinges on one single, unchangeable, brutal factor: location. You can build the most architecturally beautiful mall in human history, fill it with the world's best luxury brands, install cutting-edge AI technology, and build an indoor roller coaster. But if you build that mall in the wrong geographic location, far away from public transportation, in a declining neighborhood, or in a city with a shrinking population, customers will simply never come. Conversely, if you build a standard, average mall in the heart of a rapidly growing residential district, with direct access to major highways and subway lines, it can easily become the cultural and economic center of an entire city. Real estate experts have repeated the same iconic phrase for centuries: location, location, location. In the high-stakes world of shopping malls, those three words are the absolute law. They represent the razor-thin line between becoming a billionaire or watching your empire slide into catastrophic bankruptcy. When a mall owner gets the location, the capital, and the experience perfectly right, the result can be spectacular. Some of the world's most successful shopping malls have transcended the retail industry entirely and evolved into global tourist attractions. People don't just visit them to buy clothes. They travel thousands of miles across oceans just to witness the sheer architectural wonder of the buildings themselves. Consider the Dubai Mall, which welcomes over 80 million visitors a year and features a massive indoor aquarium holding thousands of marine animals, alongside an Olympic-sized ice skating rink. Think of the Mall of the Emirates, which features Ski Dubai, a massive, fully operational indoor ski slope covered in real snow, allowing people to ski in the middle of a scorching desert. Or look at the Jewel Changi Airport Mall in Singapore, which features a breathtaking 130-foot indoor waterfall surrounded by a lush, multi-story indoor rainforest. These iconic locations prove that the world's greatest malls are no longer just commercial centers. They are monuments to human engineering, designed to capture our imagination and help us create lifelong memories. So, let's return to our original question. Is owning a shopping mall truly a dream business? The answer is a resounding yes, but only if you possess an extraordinary amount of investment capital, years of meticulous planning, and flawless location, and the rare ability to constantly reinvent yourself to match the ever-shifting habits of the modern consumer. It is a high-octane business that has built multi-billion-dollar family dynasties, but it is equally capable of destroying fortunes in the blink of an eye. Behind every sparkling glass facade, every perfectly lit storefront, and every smiling customer lies an incredibly complex, high-stakes machine powered by international finance, heavy civil engineering, psychological marketing, cutting-edge technology, and the tireless labor of thousands of individuals. The next time you walk through the grand entrance of your local shopping mall, take a moment to look past the products on display. Take a look at the bigger picture. You aren't just visiting a place to buy things. You are stepping directly inside one of the most fascinating, complex, and high-stakes businesses ever created by human civilization. So, now that you know the immense secrets, the operational chaos, and the financial reality of this industry, we want to hear from you. Would you ever take the ultimate gamble and invest hundreds of millions of dollars to own a shopping mall, knowing both the incredible rewards and the massive risks involved? Or do you think the future belongs entirely to online shopping? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this deep dive into the hidden business mechanics of shopping malls fascinating, make sure to hit that like button to support the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on all notifications so you never miss our next deep exploration into the inner workings of the world's biggest and most powerful industries. Thank you so much for watching. Stay curious, and we will see you in the very next video.